Hey everybody, happy Friday. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hold on a minute. Just got a big shipment of supplies, so bit of a mess, but I wanted to wish you all a happy Friday. This is only for my Patreon, so I'm going to make this what I'm going to say first is this video was created on October 22nd, 2021. And as things unfold, I will eventually put this up to the general public, but this goes only for Patreon right now. And I'm going to week and do the stars of somebody famous. Now there's a lot of crap going on in the news. Like I just heard like 2 minutes ago, Alec Baldwin killed somebody on set. It was an accident. They possibly found Brian Landry's body. I knew he was dead. Cowards take their own lives. Then again, he might have succumbed to his death through natural causes, through the environment. That depends. But today, we are going to discuss the stars and the fate of Donald Trump. I want to bring him up. I know he's no longer president. I get that. But I told you when he left office that you would hear a lot more about him. This wasn't the end of it, and it's not. So here are his stars. Now, the chart I have on the thumbprint is not the same as this one. Now, with this one, I took a pen and I marked a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see, throughout his chart for what's coming for 2022. So this isn't going to be a long thing. I might do this for 15, 20 minutes. If any of my Patreon clients out there want me to do the stars of someone, just ask, message me, and I'll generate that. You got to give me a week or two, but I can do it. But we're going to start with Donald Trump. And what I said last year after the election was you would not hear the end of him. He will still be in the news. In fact, my understanding is he just launched some sort of what is it? Like an internet, like not an Instagram, like a Facebook platform, something like that. Because he's been kicked off all of these platforms. So, but anyway, stars and fate of Donald Trump. Now, right now, he has, if you look where the dragon's head is and the tail, he is natally born with a dragon's head in Gemini and the tail in Sagittarius. So things happening to him right now are in double energy because he's natally born with those placements. And that's where the universal dragon's energy is right now, is on those placements. So, we're not done with 2021 yet, and this dragon doesn't leave until January 19th of 2022, and then it moves on that day, and it stays until July 23rd, 2023. So he's going to have a whole year and a half of this next dragon coming. I'm still waiting for an announcement about his marriage because the tail... Oh my God, I'm holding the chart up completely the wrong way. Good God. Okay. The chart shows his tail in his 7th house. His 7th house is marriage, contracts, and partnerships. So I'm still waiting for a divorce to come through, but you can tell even through the news, marriage, partnerships, contracts do take a negative toll on him in his 7th house. Him and his wife are only together through publicity and for show. They don't sleep in the same room or anything like that. Now I want to talk about these. First, let's start with the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses coming. So on the 19th of November 2021, he has a lunar eclipse cruising through bear with me. Wait a minute. Okay, so he has a lunar eclipse cruising through his 12th house. The 12th house is the house of the subconscious mind. Okay, so he won't ever show this in public, but he is going to have some sort of a mental breakdown. Anytime you have a lunar eclipse going through your 12th house of your subconscious, this is where there's some sort of a breakdown and a realization of something. Now, he's not going to come out and admit this because he talks a good talk, but that lunar eclipse is about internal energy, internal issues and turmoil. And so that will be cruising right here in his 12th, where I now we shoot across to the it's really hard to read upside down. Shoot across over to the 7th house. 7th house right here. He's getting ready to deal with a lunar or a solar eclipse on December 4th in Sagittarius. We have a solar eclipse. This is going to hit right on his 7th house and his dragon's tail. He also has the moon there. This is solar. So this is going to be about the outwardness of things. And this might make him emboldened to do more, say more, be more. However, he's getting ready to have a big wake-up call. We all are, but some more than others depending on their karma. And the reason I say that is because let's go right here where my finger is, right there. That is the 6th house of health and service to the world. The dragon moving in January the tail is going to be sitting right on his health and his service to the world. So I highly doubt Donald Trump will run again in 2024. If he does, that means he has sorted out all of his health issues. But whether you're a fan of his or not, I do not see him running in 2024. I believe between 2022 and an early mid part maybe of 2023, he's going to be having some health issues. Okay. 6th house rules health. Now, his 6th house happens to be in Scorpio. Scorpio rules the sex organs. So on the medical science part of this is where he could have maybe prostate cancer or issues like that. You know, I mean, he's already a sexual deviant. Let's put it that way. But with this dragon tail sitting right there in that 6th house coming, these are wake-up calls for Donald Trump, both with health and his service to the world. This is where death, drama, rebirth, and transformation come into focus. And wherever we have Scorpio placed in our charts is where we're going to have a wake-up call for our own selves and our own lives coming. And I'll discuss that a little bit more at another time. But we're just going over Donald Trump's stars right now. So, yes, 6th house, that next dragon Scorpio will be riding in his 6th house. And the head is actually going to be in his subconscious mind. So he will have more, what's the word I'm looking for? His mental, not that he has much mental strength anyway, but this dragon's energy in Taurus on his 12th house is going to give him some sort of drive to try and make more money. He is not as rich as he portrays to be. He is a compulsive liar. And I've seen that in his stars before. He's a compulsive liar. He's a misogynistic man. He's an abusive man. I just think he's nasty, but that's my opinion. Okay, so let's move on. Talked about the eclipses. So I want to go to the first and the second house, which is right here. First, second. Okay, first, second. He has 1, 2, 3 planets in one first house of Gemini, creating a Gemini stellium. He has a dragon's head. I consider that a stellium. He has a sun, and he has Uranus in Gemini. Anytime you're dealing with Uranus in Gemini, this is why when he gave speeches, Gemini rules mental clarity, it rules communication. But when you have a Uranus sitting in the first house, this is when you give speeches, you go off on a tangent of things that don't make sense. We've seen him in action do this. So this is a person whose mental clarity is very scattered. And I'm not going to spend too much time on him, but then we move to the second house. Here we go. Second house. We've got Venus, we've got Saturn, and we've got Mercury. It's all in Cancer, meaning this is why he's a millionaire. He has a stellium in Cancer in the second house of wealth, possessions, finance. This is why he has so many hotels. This is Cancer energy always rules hospitality, restaurants, hotel, motel. But he has a Saturn there in Cancer, meaning he is stingy and greedy with his money. The Venus in the second means he likes fancy things like gold toilets, gold sinks, things like that. He's also got Mercury sitting in the second house. So he is very good at real estate. He should have stuck to that. He should not have tried to tip his hat into the ring in the realm of politics, because he does not have what it takes to be a politician. Now, he is a good divider, and he's divided this country greatly. But in time, people will see, because he will fall and he will have some health issues. I said this to my kids, and they were delighted to hear that, which I have no control over my children and their emotions. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but he's going to learn that you give what you get. So when you give out nastiness and lack of compassion and kindness for others, he just posted something recently about the late, that guy that just died, Colin Powell. He posted something nasty about him. Okay, well, you may not agree with his politics, but he did serve this country. He was a man of honor in some ways, and you just respect. Donald Trump, a year-old lard ass brat of a boy who doesn't get his way. He throws a temper tantrum, and he's rude and he's nasty. Hold on. Go. Anyway, second house has a stellium as well. This is why he's good in real estate. Should have stayed in real estate, because politics is not where it's at for him. Now, I also made note. Now, I'm teaching one of my kids how to use my software, so she changed the font. This is actually Pluto. Pluto's usually with a P. She changed it to some Greek thing, and now I've got this. That's okay. So anyway, we have Pluto, we have Mars, and we have his ascending, all sitting in the third house. And this is the house of Leo. So anytime you have a Mars in Leo, it's going to make his tone and his speech really aggressive, and there won't be any tactfulness, as you can well tell. However, with Pluto sitting there in the third, this is where death and drama can come to him through his speech. He does not know how to choose his words wisely. He has a very poor vocabulary. He makes things up. The people who do support him usually have the education of a 12th grader or less. I'm not saying that to be mean. I live in Donald Trump land. I see the people around me. I've witnessed bigotry and racism in this town with certain people, and um, they're Trump supporters. So yes, if you there are people that have argued with me telling me he is not a racist. Honey, he is a racist through and through. If you can't accept that, that is on you. I'm just reading you what his stars say, and I've said this before, and I will say it again. He is a misogynistic, racist individual. My daughter had a couple other choice words for him, but we'll keep this PG. All right, moving on, moving on. What else did I put on here? Okay, yes. Let's move up to the eighth and the ninth house. The reason I bring up health issues that could possibly lead to death are because with this next dragon cruising his sixth house of health, then you go over here and you have Pluto in Capricorn sitting in the eighth right there. Pluto is in Capricorn till March 23rd of 2023. So this Pluto energy is going to be sitting on his eighth house. What's the eighth house? The eighth house is the house of death, life, rebirth, transformation. He's either going to get a wake-up call with his health and change things around to get a rebirth, or he's not going to listen to anybody. He's going to get sick, and he could possibly die with that energy sitting there. These are possibilities. Now, I always tell my clients, and this pertains to Donald Trump too, even though our stars are set in place, we as human beings are stronger than our own stars. The will of man is stronger than any cosmic stars. Okay? So he can turn this around and his health can get better, but I don't think so. If you're in your 70s and you're still eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's, you're not a healthy person. And I say this, not that I'm the healthiest of people. When I eat that at 51, I feel like complete crap. So I couldn't imagine eating it in my 70s. I'm not saying, hey, every once in a while, nothing wrong with that. But he's not, his health is going to catch up to him in the next year or so, year and a half. The only other one I want to talk about here, three more things. His ninth house, which is right here. Would you focus in on what I wrote there? Saturn is sitting there until March of 2023. And when Saturn is sitting in your ninth house is the house of laws, courts, justice. Saturn is the planet of karma. He's going to be dealing with a lot of court cases, a lot of justice, and a lot of karma is coming his way. That within itself is going to affect his health and his service to the world. Unless he can turn it around and get better, I do not see him running in 2024. Those of you who awarded those Trump 2024 flags, well, you've just wasted a lot of money because he's not going to be running. I put two X's here only because these are where his hidden dragons are. So he has a hidden dragon's head in Aries. Where's the X? Hidden in Aries. And the tail is in Libra on his fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity. I don't think, unless his health declines, I do think he will get married one more time. But he will be, like I said, I'm expecting a divorce still. I have until the 18th of January 2022. then that energy shifts. So I said when this dragon shifted back in May of 2020, there could be a separation or a divorce for him or some sort of contracts. Those are the stars and fate of Donald Trump. Now, this is not something I'm wishing for, but I did tell you, you would not hear the last of him, even though he was out of his presidency. He's still very active in the media. But I do foretell of some issues coming with his health and his service to the world. This does represent his court cases, and a lot of stuff is happening, and that's going to take a toll on his health. So with that being said, just watch the news and you'll see what I mean. And as this unfolds, this video is strictly for Patreon. But in the beginning of the new year, when this starts unfolding, I will be sharing this video with the general public. All of the videos I do on Patreon, some eventually go to public, but not right away. Not everyone's going to get this information. And I have to play things safe. That's kind of why I did the Patreon. It wasn't to make any money off of it, even though it's kind of nice to be able to have my website paid for every month. But as things progress forward, you're going to see a lot of things happening, a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. Death and drama is coming. That portal is getting ready to open in Scorpio. If you thought this dragon's energy was gnarly, wait till the next one. It gets even worse. Anytime you're dealing with a dragon's tail in Scorpio, it is a very frightening placement. I'll explain more about that as we get closer. But yes, those are the stars and fate of Donald Trump. Now, someone did ask me to take a quick look at Steve Bannon's. And I know Steve Bannon is a Scorpio, so there's a lot of transformations coming for him as well. But I will look into his stars. But next week, I am going to do the stars of Joe Biden. Because I don't know if you all remember me saying that the future is female. I don't think Joe Biden's going to finish his presidency. Like I said, this is not what I'm rooting for. This is not what I'm hoping. But these are the way the stars are reading. So that is the forecast for the stars and fate of Donald Trump. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me. But I just kind of wanted, I don't really like I said before, I don't really like spending a whole time on this schmuck's chart. But I do it. So anyway, you guys have a great weekend. It's Friday. Enjoy. And I will be back on here. I'll probably be on the public platform on Sunday sometime. And sometime next week, I will get on here with a Joe Biden stars. I do want to say this. I'm doing my newsletters a little bit differently. The November one is going to be different. You should get your November newsletter only for Patreon this coming week. The general public will get the modified version of it, as I call, on November 1st. But I'm doing things a little differently with the monthly one. This gives me the opportunity to write more for my Patreon, give more in-depth information into the weeks ahead. So what I'm going to be doing with the new newsletter is you're going to get the newsletter, and then the first part of it is going to be a calendar of the entire month and all the transits that are happening. Venus moving into this, or I am not a modern astrologer, so you won't ever hear me talk too much about trines or this, that, and the other. But when I look at the stars for the month, I think I incorporated 2 in because they were very important and they carry some power to them. So I had to add them in. So you'll have that. And then the private part that's made only for Patreon is going to have each week. November 1st through 7th. I'm going to let you know what energies are going through for that week planet-wise. I'm going to let you know about finances, love, traveling, what to buy, what not to buy. And each paragraph will be a month, maybe 2 paragraphs. And this way it gives you guys more information, and I'm always here if you have any questions. You got to switch things up and change things around. And I've been doing free newsletters for so long now. I've kind of just stuck with the same platform and the same way of doing it. But now that I'm on Patreon, I want to switch things up and I want to make it better for my Patreons. I want to make it to where you're getting the absolute ultimate and the most information I could possibly give you through my software and my knowledge. And I'm going to leave you with this. Now, I'm going to be doing the specials again in December and starting in January. The Dragon's Head and Tail. And you get this book. You get your lucky and unlucky days. This is the Llewellyn's 2022 Moon Sign book. I think I'm going to, general public, I think I'm going to offer it for $60. And I think for Patreon, it's going to be 45 or 50. But you'll get the entire year of 2022. Your positive and negative. Your, God, I can't talk. Woo. Your lucky and unlucky dragon days for the entire year, January through December. And you'll also get this book. I'm throwing in this book for free. Now, for those of you who do purchase this every year, please do not pay more than $12.99 for this book. If you're paying more than that, you're being ripped off. Okay. Now, I ordered 20 of these because I only ordered 5 last year and they went like that. I ordered 20. I only got 10 of them. The other 10 are on back order, and even places on the East Coast are having shipping issues. She even said to me, your book is probably sitting on a container ship in the port of Los Angeles. So, but I did get 10 of these, and I'm not going to put them up right away. And like I said, Patreon, you're going to get the first shot at this. And I'm not going to be able to put that up on my website as a deal. What you're going to want to do is, if you want the deal when it comes, because you guys will get it first, you have to let me know, hey, I want the deal, and I have to send you a PayPal invoice in order to get that deal with shipping, and I'll incorporate the shipping in as well. Shipping should only be about $4-5, if that. I consider it medium mail, and if I could ship it medium mail, I get to ship it even cheaper. Some people don't like that. They want first class, and they want it in 2 or 3 days. That's fine, too. I think that's like $5.55. I'll look into all those prices. But like I said, you guys, Patreon, get it first. Before anybody else, you get the deal. So you just have to let me know, yay or nay, I want it, I don't want it, because Patreon's price is going to be completely different from the general public, okay? All right, and while I'm here, while I have you here, why don't we just pull a weekend card? I didn't go on publicly today to do that, but I will do it privately. So all of my Patreon weekly card, weekend card through the Nostradamus deck. Let's ask Spirit, what messages do you have for the world at large for this coming weekend? All right, so we drew the moon. I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to put it right here. The moon. Now, we just had the full moon, and we are at the waning phase. So Anytime we're dealing with the moon energy, we are dealing with high emotions, more intense emotions. We're dealing with sometimes depression or sadness comes from this, being melancholy. Anytime we're dealing with the moon, we could be dealing with real estate issues or some emotional issues. The moon, remember, is what rules our emotions. And when our, think of the moon as like the tides. The moon controls the tides. It makes us moody. Sometimes we can be tearful. Um, you may have issues with your mom or a mother figure. This can sometimes mean we deal with like more emotions within the family unit or with family members. Some of us in this energy have a more deeper state of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensitivity. But on a positive, this is where our dreams can come into light here. This is where dreams give messages. Dreams can manifest. This is where we have insight and things like that. Um, what else can I say about this? This is also what comes around goes around because the moon has a karmic tie to it as well. So if the weekend is making you a little depressed, just know that the energy will pass. It will get better. Um, right now, we're in a Taurus wanting energy. So Taurus is ruled by the moon. Um, and it can make us a little depressed in some way. So just kind of snap out of it. Do something that makes you happy. Don't fret and focus too much on this card for the weekend or it'll make you depressed. Just listen to your dreams. Use your intuition. Um, it might be a little more emotional than usual, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with crying. Crying is good for us. It releases. All right, you guys. I am out of here. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you very soon. Ciao.